My waking moments, my waking day was focused on drinking and using. I was conscious of the fact that my relationship with drink and drugs was very different to my mates.
We discussed it at length and he'd assured me that everything was fine and it was all under control, that it wasn't really.
When my family would speak to me about the way that I was living, I just wanted to push them away.
I was upset because I love him and I was scared that this was it. I did wonder whether it was always going to be like that.
I didn't wake up wanting to be an addict. I certainly didn't think that that was my life's plan, you know. And unfortunately it took control of me, you know. Absolutely.
It comes into the space and all of a sudden it takes over and the real you just shrinks, you know. And this active addiction just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
When Dave was out on this binge, we were almost approaching people slumped on the street, thinking, you know, could this be him?
It wants you feeling isolated, feeling like nobody understands.
You know, 4 o'clock came and it was in my hand and it was like, I've already had one, I was like, you know, off to the races again. And it's like, it's happened again. I'll make it best tomorrow. I'll do something, I promise tomorrow will be different.
It was a tough time for not only me, but the people around me as well.
What I would say to somebody in the same position as me, that's what I can say to them is, number one, it's not your fault.
It can happen to absolutely anybody. There isn't a stereotype. Try and speak to people that know a bit more about it.
Asking for help's really hard, but if you don't, you know, nothing will change. I thought I could do it by myself, but, you know, and when I needed to, I couldn't.
I reached out and asked for help and I got professional help.
And that was the absolute change around for me. Amazing, amazing change.
Dave's a very different person these days.
The transformation from the ill person is remarkable.
He has a really good support network.
He's the person that I always knew he could be. I spent years trying to get him this good, and now he is this good.
Seize that moment, because you know your head will start lying to you again otherwise, you know. So if you've got that moment of clarity, act in that moment and pick up the phone.
You know, if you feel that you can't do it by yourself and you've tried every available option, ask for help.